Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Rabbi Sai, beautiful Siyum in Toronto. MDY night of Achdus, we have the brand new screens. Yishkoyach to the donors, they're all new. That one is not yet. Toronto and Siyum, MDY night of Achdus. We're going weiter because we have a long video that's about 5 minutes, so we have to move. Menachas themed sourdough buffet because of Menachas, gewaldige idea. They always have great ideas. Toronto. Tom's River MDY Satellite, Lag Ba'omer and Siyum event. Nice turnout. Beautiful place over there. Guest speaker Rabbi Yehuda Mandel, author of Bitachon Weekly, Rabbi Ozer Badad, Rav the Shul Kabbalah Yisachar. Moshe Fisher, daily attending Messiah, leads Birkas HaMazen. Okay, so this kid, are you able to fast forward almost to the end? Almost to the end because it's in Hebrew. Yeah, right there. Stop, go.
קנה לך רב טריבלי ועשה לך חבר את הדף היומי. בהצלחה.
Okay, very good. A lot of these videos are in Hebrew. And that's the oil. We're going to do a vote here. The statuses were very matzliach. Even if you don't win, it was matzliach. Why? How do I know? Over 6,000 people joined Chullin. It's a record number of people. Usually we have 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 6,000. Is because there are a crazy amount of statuses that went out all over the world. These are just 35 of the statuses. There's some that I didn't even show, some that I didn't even get. And every one made a difference. Every single one. So you shkoyach to all the statuses. Now, it's your job. Each one of these, we're going to show a clip of 5-10 seconds per each one. Even if it's in Hebrew, it doesn't matter. If it was good, it was funny. Write the number down, up to like 5 entries, and number them, 1 through 5. What's your favorite? Just pick some. Number 22, and it's a 2. 22 is a 2 for you. 35 is a 1. Oh, by the way, one more that I didn't show. Hold on. Oh, that's it. No. We got to show this one.
1 is highest or 5 is highest? Yes.
What do you think? Whatever is highest for you, that's what you write. Don't confuse everybody else. If 5 is the highest for you, then you do it like that.
All right, this is not for the people who are in yeshiva. These are not for the people who are in kollel or everything. That this is for somebody of all the many people who see this status. This is for you. This is for somebody who is working. This is somebody who can't really make time to learn. This is for somebody who, maybe not down to learn, it's too hard. This video is for you. Daf Yomi with the goat himself. They call him Lionel Messi of Judaism. That being said, we're starting the Masechta Chullin tomorrow. We're starting Masechta, so lock in. For all those who've been doing the Daf the past, how long have you ever been doing it for? Mazal tov to all of you. But we're starting Masechta Chullin tomorrow. So you could have Spotify, you could have YouTube, you could have whatever you want. Eli Stefansky, MDY, we're on so many different platforms. It is so easy. Just come here. I'm going to send you a link. Sign up. Chullin for the win. It doesn't get better than that. Oh, dude, it doesn't get clearer than this. I'm saying learning-wise, you think you don't have time to learn? You have time to learn.
Okay. Not appropriate.
That was not a spicy comment.
Okay. So we're going to call this guy number 35. Okay, Spicy's number 35. He's not in the video. So if you want to write him down now, great. Here's the video. Boys, here it goes.
תמיד אני מבקש עזרה לעזור לחברים, לאנשים אחרים. היום אני רוצה שתעשו לעצמכם.
אני רוצה לדקות אותך.
זה לא הדף, זה היומי.
כמעט לפני שנה בדיוק, נראיתי ככה. עכשיו אני יכול להגיד שאני מתחיל לאט לאט לחלום, אפילו על סיום ש"ס.
מסכת חולין היא המסכת היחידה בסדר קודשים שמדברת בחולין. בשיעור הדף היומי, לאחר כל שעות העבודה ביום יום שזו השעה היחידה שמתעסקים בקודש הקודשים.
תראו את הבעבוע הזה, בחיים לא חשבתי שאני ידע להכין כזאת מנחת מרחשת משוכללת. אז לא הספקתי מסכת מלאכות, אבל אפשר להצטרף למסכת חולין. ותחילו שאתם צריכים יותר לחיים.
רבוי סי, מבטיח לכם שאתם הולכים להתמכר ברמות קשות.
So there's two pipes. There's the condenser, there's the faucet. למה שזה מעניין מישהו? כי זה שינה את החיים. רבלי משנה חוויה, משנה תודעה.
חברים, גם נראה
חולין כבד. Alright, Rebelli, this is going to be fantastic. בעזרת השם, looking forward to it. תחשוב, עכשיו מתחילים מסכת חולין, מתחילים ביחד כולם. תצטרף, תרגיש אנרגיה, תרגיש שמחה, מצב אותי ברמה הגבוהה ביותר, כל מובן ומוסבר. Messages Chullin didn't just change my life, it ended my life.
ברוך שלום לדף כמו שנה, מעל שנה 400 יום.
יש שם עכשיו נראים, גם חיילים, יש שם קיצורי שעות הכי טובות כמו מנגויר באז, יש שם פליבטי חסידי, כל הזיקלן.
יש פה הזדמנות שאסור לפספס, אפשר ללמוד בכל מקום, גם פה, רואים? איך אתם רוצים בכל מקום, בכל שעה?
אבל לחולים, מה אתם אומרים, זה חלק או לא חלק?
סיימתי את הבגרות, נדרתי נדר שאני לא פותח גמרא יותר בחיים. ועכשיו, מאז תחילת המלחמה, אני כבר 907 יום, לומד דף יומי.
Just a moment, דונלד, ומזמין את כל מי שלא ניסה עדיין. תצטרפו ל-MDY, מתחילים חולין.
כשבן אדם מחובר למשהו גדול ממנו, זה עצמו נותן חיים, וזה בדיוק מה שדף היומי עם MDY. אתה לא סתם לומד דף ביום, אתה נעשה חלק.
השיעור, הדף היומי הגדול ביותר בעולם היום, אלי סטפנסקי. סמכו עליי, תתרמו ותאהבו. חולים אחרים היום, חבר'ה, יאללה.
אבל מה אם אין לי זמן? אז איך יש לך זמן לקלוט בסטטוס? תערף לרבלי, הוא יותר מעניין ממני, כמו חלק. ואם תגיד לי, תשמע, אני לא בן אדם של בקיוס, אני בן אדם רק שלי, הוא קודם תתחיל ללמוד תורה, תעשה סלקציה ביני ולבקיוס, כאב שאני חש עד היום. של סביבה, מה לי ולשבת שם בישיבה. והיום 20 שנה אחרי, התרגשות, אני אומר את זה. זכיתי להכיר את רבלי, כמעט שנה בתוך השיעור. המשפחה שפתאום, רק לומד, דף היומי כל יום.
אוי סי, תצטרפו ל-MDY!
רבלי היקר, אני אוהב אותך מאוד, אבל אני אוהב את השיעורים ואת הבדיחות שלך עוד יותר. אמרתי כל אחד ואחד מכם להצטרף, מבטיח לכם שלא תצטערו, זה ממכר. כמה אתה אוהב מיכל דסת? מה אתה רוצה לך בזה? אתה רוצה לשפק?
ועל זה נאמר, קנה לך רב את רבלי, ועשה לך חבר את הדף היומי.
עשה לכם שינוי בחיים, אל תהיו המורים, תהיו נשונים, תקפצו למים!
Daf Yomi isn't just a daily study. It's a transformative journey, a movement that connects you to thousands around the world. MDY brings a daf to life.
Oh, excuse me, sir? Excuse me? What are you doing right now? Oh, I'm watching Daf Yomi with MDY.
Today marks exactly 5 years to the day since I started doing Daf Yomi, and honestly, that itself is a miracle. But MDY gave me something I never had. It gave me a schivas, it gave me a krius, it gave me a responsibility to myself.
Hi, my name is Asher Smith and I'm 10 years old. Guess what? I've done 478 Dafim of Gemara, and I'm going to do my 4th siyum. If I can do 478 Dafim, we can definitely start with only one.
Givaldic. Okay, so what? Spicy's 37? Not 35, sorry. Spicy's 37. Throw in spicy at 37 if you want. Okay, Rabbi Isai, Shkoyach, thank you for voting. I'll take all the, and by the way, all your votes don't count at all. It's me, I decide at the end. No, bring it in. Sfiris Ha'omer, L'Refuas Hadmar Mevish Shlita, the official edition MDY Shas, Masechta Zev and Yael Sholhoff, Perek, the Benedict family, Daf Vav, Tzvi and Nechama Spiro, Lilunishmas, Reb Abba Zev Ben, Reb Chaim Yitzchak HaLevi. I believe he's coming on the trip, right? Tzvi Spiro. David Salomon just notified me he is not coming on the trip. He needs a complete refuah on his ankle. Something happened to, he's running, and he dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri, Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zechron Levracha, the Palchik Family Foundation, in gratitude to the consortium and the alliance and all they do to support him. Anonymous. And thank you to Chief Benny, Anonymous, for a complete refuah shleim and arichas yom to Leah Bas Esther by Binyamin Rosenfeld, Brios V'Simcha. I think he is coming on the trip. Koil sponsors month, HYK Ventures in the schus for success of all our clients. Binyamin Rosenfeld, Bracha B'Parnasa, Koil sponsor. MDY Coffee Corner, Kverat Tefillah Committee, Dalef Neimiyat Ta'omed, and today, by the one and only, the Givaldiker, Mendel Lerner, who's with us today with his sons, our son Pinchas Chalakia, who's not here, and over 1,500 daf since Yevamis, L'chvoid, Hilula, Remendela Meriminov.
Somebody sent this one in.
Shit it! I just turned off my screen. That's what the Rebbe said to me in the video. Who did this? Is that you? You troublemaker. You, the troublemaker. Did you? Oh, it's you, the troublemaker. I knew it was one of the gray beards. I didn't know which one. All right. Yishkoyach Remendel. Sachnachas. Wow, he's a mamish, a big kid for a 3-year-old. Unbelievable. It's not him. It's not him. It's not him. By Ari Simon, Rabbi Isai, we have a special surprise for Ari Simon. L'Refuah Shleima of Imoiri Baruch B'Miriam. And for the 3rd time today, monthly sponsor Binyamin Rosenfeld, Parnas B'Shev, Rabbi Isai. check this out. I'm noticing this now. He did a Masechta sponsor, here he is. He did a Koil sponsor, here he is. And he did a monthly sponsor, here he is. Yes, he is. Weekly sponsors, Moshe and Ruchi Markovich, proudly supporting the Daf Yomi in Spanish, Refuah Shlema, Harav Yaakov ben Lulu, and Lili Nishmas Harav Chaim Gedalia ben Yeshua Alav Shalom. So, Rabbi said, don't forget, tell your Spanish-speaking friends to check out Espanol. Yumi Feig, Lili Nishmas, Shendel Bas Harav Yechiel Mechel Alav Shalom, Yortzit Zan Lag Ba'omer, and Zeligan, Zeitlin families, Mazel Tov, to Eaton Zelig 15 and Hunter Zeitlin 14. It's coming up on their 500th daf, halfway to MDY 1K status. Every day I'm going to make, it's going to be a pause. And I was in memory of Avi Moiri, Akiva ben Avram, Dr. Clifton Price, the Price family, Lili Nishmat, Dr. Clifton Price, Akiva ben Avram. Yishkog, the two of you. Next time get together.
No.
Each one did different. Yeah, each one did different. Anonymous, and then the Price family. So I guess the Anonymous is not part of the Price family.
It's actually his son.
Anonymous in memory of Avi Moiri. So we know it's a boy, and we know he's from the Price family, but it's anonymous. And then we have to, because
you don't know
women also have Avi Moiri. Right. Good point. Wow. Bad call. The Price family, Lunishmat, Dr. Clifton Price, Akiva ben Avram. Bracha Green, Limud Torah, Linin Nishmas, Achi Shleima ben Yisrael. Shom should have an Aliyah, MDYR. Month. Refuah Shleima, Yonatan Etem B'Shav Bracha. Refuah Shleima. Refuah Sayeled. Daniel Zev ben Ayel Esther. And Refuah Shleima, Mordechai ben Esther. Rabbi Sai, here we go. What am I missing? It said, I said the Mexico, Merkovich. Yeah. Omar Simon Niklaf. We're like a little bit below halfway. Now the good news is Vav Amud Beis is very short. We're probably not going to do Amud Beis today. We'll see where we get to. Omer Avchana, the Rabbi say it's a Gadita MS, not like we were told at the end of Menach is going to be a Gadita, which is a few daf of a Gadita. There's a Gadita today. Omer Avchanan, Omer Rabbi Yaakov bar Idi, Omer Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Mishum bar Kapara. So it's a great start. 2 lines, and it says Rabbi Gamliel Beis Dino Nimnu. There was a vote. We had a whole sugya. Are you allowed to eat the shchita of a kusi? And we said, come in, Elvis. There's room for Elvis somewhere. That's not a single. Oh, there's a seat over here. Even though he's going to make a big. He doesn't want to sit next to the gray beards. Ask him. There's a number of reasons. Oh, here he is. He's sitting there. Okay, so. Are you allowed to eat the meat of a kusi? We said if we have a Yisrael Oimed al Gabov, we have a Mashgiach Tmidi, yes. We had another thing, we do the taste test, remember? If he eats it himself. So says the Gemara, in the name of Reb Gamliel. Now, Rashi points out that this is not the Reb Gamliel that you're thinking of. This is actually a later generation. This is below, like from the last Tanoim, the son of Rabbeinu, Rabbi Yehuda Anasi.
Where's your chart?
Yeah, I should have the chart. Correct. The chart should be in here. He and his best, the Nimnu, they voted, mamish like we just did, a vote, Ashchitas Kusi V'asarua. They decided we're not allowing the shchita of a kusi, and the Gemara is going to go into it. Why? Not this minute. Omar le Reb Zera le Yaakov bar Idi. Says Reb Zera, it was a bad move for saying it. Messed up a little bit. He tells Rabbi Yaakov bar Idi, Shema lo shoma Rebbe ela b'she'ein Yisrael oimid al Gabov. Perhaps what you're saying over is in a case where there's no mashgiach tmidi, but otherwise if there's a mashgiach tmidi, we could eat the meat of a kusi. You know what you sound like? Like a person like a Amaritz, like somebody that doesn't know how to learn, like you never learned a day in your life. We know a kusi doesn't care about if he learns the pasuk very literal, that it means don't put a stone as a blind person is walking, do not trip him up. It has nothing to do with tripping people up with halachas and Torah. And therefore, if you don't have a Mashgiach Tmidi, 100% it's also. That's the whole sugya. Obviously, when Rabbi Gamliel comes and says that you can't eat the meat, he means with the Mashgiach Tmidi, you can't eat his meat. Kibla Minei, like Kibla Minei, was Reb Zera agreeable to what he said or not? I'm going to prove to you that he agreed with him. He realized that he made a mistake. There's no way that Reb Gamliel said that the meat of a kusi is aser when there's no mashgiach. When there's no mashgiach, we know it's aser. Tashma. I need Reisis Rabbi Yochanan. Another story. Go from story to story. I saw Rabbi Yochanan she'achal mishchitas kusi. Rabbi Yochanan, like the first Amoira, later on, he ate the shchita of a kusi. He ate the shchita. Rabasi achal mishchitas kusi. Rabasi also. The Toiba Reb Zera himself, who just got himself in a little bit of a pickle when he was yelled at. He says, "You don't even. It sounds like you don't never learned Torah before." Reb Zera was wondering, what happened there? Why did Rabbi Yochanan eat the meat? Is the pshat l'shmilu? We never heard about this psak from Gamliel. Do you have a shmilu? Have mekabela? Because had he heard it, he would have never eaten it. He would have accepted it. Maybe he heard from Gamliel and he couldn't care less and he ate it anyways. Then he said, pshat, must be, it has to be that he heard it and he didn't accept it. Why? If you tell me he never heard the halacha, had he heard it, he would have completely accepted it. Impossible. There's a story about the Vilna Gaon. They say the Vilna Gaon once touched muktzah and he fainted. By mistake, he realized he's touching muktzah, he fainted. So the Chazon Ish said the story is bogus, never happened. Impossible that the Vilna Gaon would just make a movement without thinking it through and that he touched Chazon Ish. And now we're talking about Amoraim, Tanoim.
The Moira in the Gemara who did that.
The what?
He moved his lamp on Shabbos.
Shemayata.
The Gemara talks about it.
I don't remember. I remember talking about it then.
What?
I don't remember exactly. Yeah.
His lamp. So if he could do it, then.
It's okay. Taisus talks about it. Good. But the Chazon Ish didn't know this. What you're saying. This Gemara that you're talking about, the Chazon Ish forgot it.
You asked the kasha, right?
A kasha in the Chazon Ish.
Yes.
Shka. Yeah. It's not a kasha.
Okay.
You have the kasha. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. When we learned the sugi, we spoke about every one of those things. So that how could it be possible that if there's a psak in Bezdin, not to eat this meat, the Rabbi Yochanan go ahead and eat it by mistake? If the animal of Reb Pinchas ben Yair wouldn't eat the wheat that didn't have meiser, tzadikim atzmon loikolchkein, a tzaddik himself, Rabbi Yochanan would never ever trip and do it by mistake. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't let it happen. Here's a beautiful video. Here we go. Just don't look at the guy's finger. The guy on the left, he has a problem with his finger. Don't look.
Was the Shechita done by a Reish Shamayim or Chatzos Shana by an Apikoris?
I don't know. I'm embarrassed to ask.
I have an idea.
Look at his stomach moving from right to left. Don't disturb the rabbi. This is the behem of a tzaddik.
See, they won't eat. I told you the kashrus was questionable.
What are you talking about? The kashrutz is perfectly fine. But for that, it ain't worth becoming fleshy.
There's a big tzaddik of Gross. He opened up a. He sent in a video, and I was misupik to watch to show it. Maybe I'll show it a different time. So he says there that b'schus that he didn't have children for 8 years, and he got a bracha from a certain individual from MDY, and since then, 9 months later, his wife had a baby, and he's opening up in that schus. He's opening up a satellite location in Montreal. He has a falafel place, and he showed you the whole thing. Be'ez Hashem, I'll show the video. So, just as a steer to what he claimed, so there's a maisa with myself. When I was a bacher, I was like 19 years old. I remember I was telling you Nachman yesterday. I was in Europe for friend's chasana, and it was me and another friend, and he introduced me to his uncle, and his uncle took us to shul on Shabbos. He was a German Yid, from guy, whatever, German Alta went through the war, whatever it was, older man, and he says, he says, you want to go to Austria? I have a place in Austria. So he says, yeah, so we go to, he has a Mercedes, takes us on the Autobahn, he's flying, shows us how fast he go on the Autobahn. Well, then we get to Austria, and we stop in the Alps over there is where they did one of the Olympics, and there's a store there. All they sell is chocolate, and we're salivating. These chocolates, these truffles, everything's nicer than the other. The whole store is just all types of chocolates. So I said something like, "Wow, it's unbelievable." These treif. He says, "What treif? From this thing, from over here to over here is all kosher. You're allowed to eat this section over here." It's like, "Yeah, you sure? Yeah, from positive. From here to here." So we take some chocolates. We don't ask too many questions. So when we eat, we devour these chocolates. Mamish, the best of the best. And afterwards, I look at it. I was like, it's in Austria. So who gives the hechsher here on that section? He says, "Who gives the hechsher? The priest gives the hechsher." I made you eat treif. Mamish like that. I'm like, excuse me? It's like, yeah, the priest gives the hechsher. And just walks away. So whoever you are, some tzaddikim are not nechshon, some are not tzaddikim. Mamish like that. You guys are in shock. Maisa shoya. V'sol gedai. It's not a nice maisa. Anaya. No, it's naya.
You never said it.
Never said it because it's not the most appropriate story. I don't know what went through this guy. Like he was an old timer that lived in Germany. Who knows what goes on in his brain? Now the Gemara continues with the proof. Reb Zera himself. What happened? Let's review. Reb Zera. What could be treif in it?
A lot of things.
Okay.
Treif and chocolate, like gelatin.
What? Swiss chocolate in the bars, but I'm talking about in a homemade place. Like it was all made, special, open stuff, not from a factory.
Take the header.
I don't know. I'll take the header. Take the header. 1 minute. If you're right, I have a much bigger tie-in on the guy. Why only this section? I could have had from the whole thing. Rabbi Schoenberg, you never had one of those chocolates. Tell me, you ate the Toblerone, whatever it's called, those Swiss chocolates. Toblerone. My kids eat that. They buy not the one that comes with 25 in a box. They go around and that's all they eat for 3 days. They're eating that, and then I'm hungry. I have pizza. There's only 2 things that they eat. Okay. I don't even know how to say the name. Let's do a quick review. Reb Zera messed up a little bit. He said that what Reb Gamliel meant when he said that you can't eat a kusis hechsher is only when there's no mashgiach. And then he has a problem. Reb Zera himself has a problem with Rabbi Yochanan. How did Rabbi Yochanan eat this meat? Did he know? Did he know about it? Did he not know about the halacha? And it's impossible that he didn't know that he didn't know, and that had he known, he wouldn't have eaten it because a tzaddik is not nichshal. So that's the Gemara on top of Vav Amud Aleph. And if you would think that Reb Zera did not accept the musar, in other words, he held Reb Gamliel only paskined in a situation where there's no mashgiach. But if there's a mashgiach, you're allowed to eat kusim meat. What do you ask me a question about Rabbi Yochanan? Rabbi Yochanan ate meat that had a mashgiach tmidi, and that's why he ate it, even after the psak of Reb Gamliel. Reb Zera took the musar. He agreed that there is zero difference between a mashgiach and not a mashgiach. Reb Gamliel made a psak, no kusim meat, forever. In any circumstance, even if there's a mashgiach oimed al gabav, no meat, and that's why he had a problem with Rabbi Yochanan. Shmamino. When my time it goes to Rabbanim, and why do Rabbanim make Xerah not to eat kusi meat? Reb Meir sent Reb Shimon ben Elazar to buy some wine from the kusi house. So this old man met him. So the famous Tosfos, it's not always, but here we have the Tosfos mamish straight out and it's small. And the first Tosfos on the Amud, it's easy. Yesh mefarshim. When we learn every Tosfos, the kol makam shu maskir ahusaba hu Eliyo. It's Eliyo Hanavi. V'yesh shaloi became a parak b'medlikin daf lamedalid, which is be'uvded the Reb Shimon ben Yochai. The whole story of Rashbi is on Shabbos daf lamed gimel, Lag Baimer. But Tosfos brings lamed alid. Oh, because today's lamed alid. Be'uvded the Reb Shimon ben Yochai. Mamish. So Eliyahu Hanavi comes and says, Omar lei, bisamtu sakin beloyecha, put the knife right in your cheeks in bal nefesh ata. If you're a person that has a neshama, you're a person that does the right thing, do not drink this wine. Put a knife there. Don't let yourself drink it.
Knife for the sin.
Yeah.
Here it's the sin. Interesting.
A lot of times, yeah. It's actually in my Gemara it puts it with the samach. Yeah. The pasuk says sin. You're right. The pasuk says sin. So Reb Shimon ben Elazar runs back to him and says, "You're not going to believe who I bumped into. I bumped into Eliyahu Hanavi, and he says, don't drink their wine." So Reb Meir says, "You know what? If Eliyahu Hanavi says it, let's make Xerah, no wine." So now we have Reb Meir that says no wine. We have Reb Gamliel that says no meat. That's it. They're closed off. My taima. What's the reason? The reason is because they're oivdei avodah zara. Who? Not everybody. A few sick people. Here, let's check this out. Here's a kusi. The question is the Geri Arayis or Geri Emes? They became Geri because they were eaten up by the lions. You had a shtickle boo-boo. You see, not everybody. It's very good. I just noticed now. Most of them didn't bow. 2 out of the 12 or whatever, how many people there. So they made a Xerah on their wine because of those 2 people. Why? If you ask anybody that learns the daf, who's the person in Shas that always is concerned with the miut, with the minority? Reb Meir. Everybody knows it's Reb Meir. In all of Shas. Where do it's in a mood. Party pooper. Okay, weiter. What's his name? Where does Reb Meir say it?
Right here.
No, not right here. Where's the Makar? What? How do you know? Cheater! What happened in Yavamas? Oh, islandness. Reb Meir says a youngster, a kid that's under 13 should not do yibum. Why? Because maybe it'll turn out that he's going to be a saris. Or the woman, if she's a ktana, you shouldn't marry her. Why? Because she might turn out to be an islandess. What percentage of Klai Yisrael are islandess or saris? A very, very small percentage. Baruch Hashem. So Memela, he's choishish. He is concerned about the minority. So over here also, he's concerned about those 2 people that bow to the pigeon. Reb Hershel Zidit Shover says, how come it is that when a person is very sick, they say, give money to Reb Meir Balanes? This is because a lot of things in this world, we said it a few times, like Chachamim, they decide what happens in this world. Chacham passing, a guy that's on his deathbed, he's a goisus, and he's on the last. So there's certain halachas that he's considered like he's gone. There's certain things. He says, no, but if you go with Reb Meir is choshesh limiyuta. So give money to Reb Meir Balanes. Ugaza ruba to miyuta. And therefore, since I'm going with the minority, I'm going to be guys. They're all kusim. They're all going to suffer, and you can't drink their wine. And when it came to meat, they're also concerned about the minority, and they asked her to meat. Says Gemara, we're doing a gadat to our boys. I enjoy every minute. I heard that all 140 daf are like this. Besides basar b'chalav, and I don't know, they're serious. There was two, 3 daf in the entire Masechta that we need some good charts. So, Pashli Kura b'Mike Siv, this pasuk that says v'samtu sakin b'loyecha with a sin in Bal Nefesh Ata, what's the simple meaning? B'talmid hayoyeshev l'fnei rabbi. You have talmidim sitting in front of the rabbi. Torah Rebchia. Kiseshev lil choim es moishel. So lil choim could be a lashon of bread. Es moishel, you're sitting and learning Torah. Bin tovin es asher lefanecha. V'samtu sakin b'loyecha. What's going on here in Bal Nefesh Ata? If you know that your Rebbe could answer you well, go ahead, ask him good kashas. Get to the bottom of it. He'll teach you the sugi. If him lav, if not, tovin is asher lefanecha. You should understand on your own. V'samtu sakim b'leyecha, says Rashi. Don't embarrass him. You hear this, Noam? Good friend. Mamish, good friend. Aryeh.
That's why I only ask one thing a share.
Halavai. It's the one embarrassing one. The one that I don't know how to answer.
You don't want to say that.
And then look.
You don't want to say that because right after that, what it says.
Yeah. It's a hint. Hint. Check this out, Reb Aryeh. In Bal Nefesh Ato. So I said this last night in Shir to Mendy, a different Mendy. In Bal Nefesh Ato, Puroi Shemenu. You should go to another Shir. So the guy says, yeah, but there is no better Shir, so I have to stay here. So I'll be mevayish you. He says, I'll be mevayish you. I said, but so it's mashma that if there was another shir, you'd go. He says, yeah, vada. It's been
a good ride.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk. The last time we had something like that, I actually made a sign. I'll show the oilam. It's an interesting lashon. It was the same idea. Like the oilam should, don't ask such hard questions. Oh, but on your part, that's on my part. What about you? You have no right to do it. Don't teach me. Barabim. Rabbi Yitzchak ben Yosef shad Rebavo lasui chamra. So Rabbi Yitzchak sent Rebavo to bring wine mebekusoi from the Kusi's house. Ashkechei Usaba. Once again, Eliyahu Navi, according to some, is Eliyahu Navi. Omarlei, Eliyahu Navi tells him, Leis kan shomer Torah. Nobody keeps the Torah here. Nobody keeps the Torah. That means you're done. You can't bring wine. You can't buy wine from him. So Rabbi Yitzchak went and said this over to Rebavo. He said this over to Ami and Rebasi. Where did Rebami and Rebasi live? Where? Who? How do you know? Very good. Yeah. They live in Tveria. Because we had a Gemara in Brachas. They were sitting under those beams there in Tveria davening. They didn't leave until they decided that Kusim are Goyim Gemurim. Those of you who know, mainly in the Hebrew Shir, I had a thing. If somebody, like a piece of bread on Pesach, that's chametz. Chametz, a pita, bread, that's chametz. What's chametz gomer? Or matzah from the factory. There's the square chametz gomer, they call it. Chametz gomer. So there's a guy. What's a guy? Not in the street. What's a guy gomer? A guy that wears a blue shirt. That's a guy gomer. So that's in the Hebrew shir, they say, you're a guy gomer. I have the right guy. I used to wear colored shirts back in the day. Some goyim gemurim, and this is mamish in the Gemara. This idea, I didn't make it up. Here, mamish in this Gemara. Then what? Think about it. We'll see in a second. Lamai, what does it mean? Mahasam Gazu Rabbanon. We just decided. Remeir made a gzeira on what? On wine. What did Gamliel make a gzeira on? The meat. So we already had this in the Tanoim's generation. Mahasam Gazu Rabbanon. So why do you need Amarayim later on to do this? So the Gemara, Inu Gazu Kiblu B'nai Remeir and Gamliel. By the way, the Talmidim of Rebbe Kiva from the 5 Talmidim, right? This is today. Mamish today. This is when they started today. They went. The Rebbe Kiva took whatever he had left over, the 5, and he made Torah from these 5. Inu Gozru v'kiblu minayu. Also Rabbi Rabasi Gozru v'kiblu minayu. Nobody accepted Rebbe Gamliel or Meir. Rashi explains why. What do you mean? They're G'dolei Olam. What do you mean you don't accept? Because they were so intertwined in society. The Kusim and the Jews lived together in the same building. They were friends. They worked together. So they couldn't accept it. But in the later generations, when there was already a separation, then they made Xer. Okay, fine, we'll take it. As the Gemara, my goyim gemurim. So this is mamish that lashon. What do you mean goyim gemurim? He's a guy. What's a goy gomer? If the pshat is he's wearing a blue shirt, I understand. But if the pshat is he's a guy, but he's a goy gomer, that Arab, he's mamish. He's such a guy. He's a goy gomer. It doesn't pass the lashon.
Very pregnant.
Oh, exactly. Says the Gemara, you're right. What's pshat in goy gomer? He's not a goy. A kusi is not a goy. A kusi is a ger. We're going, the whole sugi is a ger emes. He's a real ger. So if he messed up, it doesn't make him a goy. A Jew cannot become a goy. But he's a goy gomer. What does that mean? Because when we're talking about an Eruv, check this out. Beautiful AI picture. I love this. There's one little problem with this AI. Can anybody see the problem with this AI? Like the other video with the guy with the ring. This from a guy from the Chazanish Koilel, and he has a ring on his finger. Okay, but check out this problem. Mamish a problem. In Meir Sharm, there's a satellite dish right over here. Okay, anyway, so in Meir Sharm. Oh, so no, because that's the satellite of the guy that lives there. It's not a problem. This is a chutzner. You have this courtyard, and the houses they come into the courtyard. So Rabbanan said you can't carry there on Shabbos, but it's private property. No, it's like you can confuse it with the Rosh Hashanah. So what do? You make a eruv chatzeros. You take a meal, you take some challah egg, whatever. You make a meal, and everybody participates in that meal. Now, what happens if you have a goy? The goy cannot participate in that meal. The only way to circumvent that is to rent it from him, to rent his house from him. Otherwise, he can't be a shutaf here. So says the Gemara, these kusim, the goyim gemurim in that halacha, because a Jew could also be in that category. If you have a Jew that's machal Shabbos b'fer hesya, he cannot be mishtatev with the eruv. So I heard, I'm going to ruin it for a lot of people, but I just the type of saying this over. There was a situation in a building that they couldn't do an eruv. Every time they went to the guy's house, they said, "Do you want to be mishtatev there?" He said, "No, no." He was a guy that wasn't shayim Torah mitzvahs and a lahachasnik, like the shayfer in the mailbox. You're going to blow shayfer on purpose? No, I don't want it. So they came up with a murdik idea. This is a halacha that if you put something in the guy's house, like he's watching something for you, so then you have like a sort of bailus in his house in that area. So the guy came up with a great idea. You hear? Yishalom Aleichem, welcome back. He knocks on his door, he says, listen, I have a big problem. I love the Medina, and I love the Israeli flag. But if I put up an Israeli flag in my house, they kick my kids out of school. Could I put the Israeli flag in your house? Israeli flag in my house. So he puts up the Israeli flag. It was his flag. So he had a mokum in his house. Now he ruined it for all those guys. Now you're going to have a bunch of chilonim. Now I'm going to take your flag back. I don't want your flag. Because they chap to chap. So that's how they made the eruv. So now what happens over here? Just like a goy cannot give up his property, so to this kusi. If a person doesn't believe in certain things, if he's respectful of Shabbos, he doesn't do it b'faresi in public. He could give up his rishos like anybody else gives up their thing. We're all partners in this. But if he's mechal Shabbos b'faresi, and even a Jew doesn't have the right. Mipnei she'amru Yisrael noisen rishus mebad rishus ubegoy achi yiskar. He has to rent it out. Keitzad has a Jew mevatel rishus. Amaloi rishusi knuy lach rishusi mevutelas lach kana vein tzarich liskois. Just want to show you this real quickly. I got this from Yoshi. 2:19 a.m. Just finished the video. 2:26 he uploaded it. Here's the video that he worked on till 2:26 for us. It's the same chotzer.
Sergey, we need to do an Eruv Chazarot. Do you agree to rent your house to us?
Look at the phone. It's mamish we do. Chatzeidis. By Hadar Global.
Urab Sergey, du verstehst, the Indian is azor. When the guy lives in Chutzer with Yidden, the guy is also the Chutzer. You can't carry him Shabbos, you understand? A guy also. And the only way to be matir is through Such, as shoes. We rent your shoes. I told you rent just.
No problem. I rent you house. You know, I always loved Jewish. You know, my grandmother, on my mother's side, she was Jewish.
Another Maisa. They went to an inn. Who runs the inns besides Netzer from Kanazei? Amaratzim. What? No, because he's a Talmud Chacham. He's a good guy. He's a learned man. How does he finish off the Shachars? No, he says the pasuk. You also know? We love you, Rabbi Netzer. So they bring him like shakshuka, some sort of eggs in wine. So real quickly, there's something called Dmai. It's not a scary word at all. Do-mai. It's like an amaret. So, for the new guys, this is a beautiful chart, redone. When you have 100 fruit, you give 2% to the kohen. You give 10% to the Levi. And the Levi takes from his 10% and he gives 10% to the kohen. Okay? That's what we have to know. We don't even have to know that, but yeah, I'm just going to put this on the side. It's a beautiful video. You know what? For the new guys, for the 6,000 new guys. Imagine there's only 600. We'd also show them. The 6,000. You have a bunch of fruit, you give 2% to the kohen. $10% to the Levi. And the Levi takes what from the 10 apples he got, he gives 10%. So he takes one apple and gives it to the kohen. That's the basic. Now, amen. So, kidding. An Amaretz is not a bad person. He's not a learned person. So the 2% to the kohen, the first part he has no problem. It's only 2%, big deal. 10% is already, that hurts. So he doesn't give, sometimes he won't give the meiser part. But most Amaratzim do give. Chachamim made a gzeira on anything that you buy from an Amaretz, such as, let's say, the fruit store here in Ramat Bet Shemesh in the center, owned by an Amaretz. Not a Shem Torah mitzvahs. So you can't rely on him that he gave Trumas and Meisers. So you would have to what? To have a hechsher, etc. Of course, hechsher is hechsher, but what he tells you privately, you can't rely on. So that's called Dmai. You buy from an Amaretz, it's called Dmai. Dmai. What is this? Gzeira, the Rabbanan, that you have to take Trumas and Meisers. Says Reb Zera to Ravasi, how in the world are you eating this shakshuka? It has wine in it. Wine, you have to take Trumas and Meisers. If you bought it from Ma'amaretz, you would have to take your own Trumas and Maisers. How are you eating it? There's a mixture of wine in here. When I eat shakshuka, I'm not looking at the ingredients. I'm not saying, oh, it has tomatoes. I eat shakshuka. I didn't pay attention that there's wine in here that needs maisers taken from it. Says the Gemara, is it possible that Chacham made a takana you can't eat this demai, and Ravasi is going to eat it by mistake? If the animal of a tzaddik is not going to eat something that doesn't have meiser, so the tzaddik is going to be worse off than the donkey of Pinchas ben Yair. He's going to eat something that needs meiser. He went and he searched up and down and he found you put wine into some fish brine, some geschmacka food, gala, karshina, this veg stuff. Remember the veg? Oh, where's the veg? Here we go, veg. This is the veg.
Lewis County, Missouri, June the 4th. These guys are busy grazing hairy vetch. You can watch them do their thing.
They're very excited.
This is tremendous forage.
Tremendous forage. Okay, so it's really a Michael Behem. I'm just trying to show you that animals eat this. But if you wanted to do Karshinim Lasim and Pchinim, Adashim Lasim and Resisim, Chayim Mishum Dmai. Rabbi say if you buy vetch from an Amoritz, you have to take Meiser. If you buy the wine to put into your Murius, you have to take Meiser. But listen to this. Certainly, if the Amoritz tells you I didn't take Meiser, of course you're going to have to take the Meiser. This is the point. What if you buy ready-made Murios, ready-made Resisin, ready-made Tchinin, the final product, the matbucha that we're talking about, the final matbucha, you don't have to take Meiser. Why? Because it's a mixture. If you buy the solid ingredient, the vetch by itself, fine. But if it's vetch mixed into other stuff and it's already made, then you don't have to take Meiser. And that's why Ravasi was a nichshal, because Ravasi ate a ready-made thing. Listen, the whole demai it's a far-fetched thing that maybe he wasn't. Most Amarasim do. So once it's Murav, once it's in a thing, they weren't guys that far. He wasn't nichshal. Oh. Says the Gemara, but it goes through Al is the Mai. What? The warrant. So now the Gemara is going to have a problem with this. You give your neighbor who's Amar. What's your name?
Rami.
From?
Pittsburgh.
Wow, Rami from Pittsburgh. You do the daf with us?
Yeah.
What yeshiva are you in?
I follow along a little bit.
Don't tell us about the. You're an Aish.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You like it?
It's amazing.
Givaldik. Okay. Who else is it? Shomalim, what's your name? Shomalim from? Modi'in, South African. Shalom Aleichem. Welcome. And you? Also a new guy?
Avia.
From?
Boynton Beach, Florida.
Ah, geschmack. And you?
Larry Kozowski.
From?
Dallas.
There's a whole mix here. Givaldik. Anybody else want to say Shalom Aleichem? Besides Mendel Lerner? Givaldik. Okay, thank you. So, says the Gemara, you give your neighbor, who's a Amoritz. She's the wife in Amoritz. She gives him something to bake. You give her. You know, not everybody had an oven in their house. Very few people had. So you take your wife's sourdough ready to go. You say, here, put it into the oven. Here, take the chunk, put it in. She's not going to go. Amoritz, maybe they're not so makbid on giving 10% of the carbon. But they're not going to steal from your chunk. They're normal people. Not going to steal, mix up things. I don't have to worry about anything. But if I tell her use your ingredients, that's a different problem. I have to worry about the barley and the spices, maybe it's shmita stuff, or meiser. Even if it's a cholent, it's mixed. It says mefurish over here that you're not allowed to buy cholent because maybe it has the may in it. So you see that mixed stuff is a problem. How did Rav Asi eat mixed up? Shani Azam the Kivin the Komer La'asili Mishlechi. If you tell a woman to do, I want you to make me a child. She becomes your shliach. You can't tell somebody to do the mixture and then say, "Oh, it's mixed." It's like buying fresh stuff. It was individual stuff, and you told her to mix. That's not okay. Rav and Mama Shani saw the time of it, since it has a lot of flavor. The timely like bottle, it's done for flavor in the chon. Flavor is not something that can be bottled. As the Gemara, we're not worried about switching things up, but not. If you give your mother-in-law something to cook, it's the mother-in-law. Rabbi said, so I have to, every time you say mother-in-law, I have to say one mother-in-law. I'm going to go, since there's new people, I'm going to say the old one. Knock on the door. Son-in-law opens up the door. There is a woman who happens to be a shviger with a giant suitcase. His heart drops. He says, shviger, how long are you going to stay here for? She says, for as long as you want. She says, no, come on. Well, you're not even going to stay to get a cup of coffee? It's not a nice chamoisai. Meiser shu noisin la, veshu noitel mimena. Never gets old, that one. No matter how many times you hear it. Chazara. So you give your mother. How many times have you heard the story from me? So you must have had a real trigger. 8 or 10. And you're laughing. This time you laughed more than on the 7th time. What's pshat? You finally got it. Wow. See, sometimes it takes 10 times to say it's a joke. Okay, great. Says the Gemara, we got a viter today. I love it. So what do you do? We're concerned. She's going to switch up the whatever, you give her a sourdough, it gets ruined. She's going to switch it up. Here, we have a video of it. Rabbi Sai, not a joke. Yeah, of course. Here we go.
המשפחה של ההורים שלו, מה זה מחמירים? אל תשאל לי. כן, אפילו שייריס הם לא אוכלים. כן, הכל צריך להיות בדת. יופי. ועכשיו הם נפלו עלינו לסעודה של הבוקר, עם כל הילדים, רגע, דופקים בדלת, כבר חוזרת אלייך.
Shviger, thanks for everything. Everything's meiser.
איפה היינו? נו כן, והם גם לא יודעים לבשל בכלל, אין להם מושג. לפחות כשהם באים אלינו לשבס, ריקי והילדים אוכלים אוכל נורמלי. יואו, איזה פדיחות. בגלל איך נשרף לי עכשיו הצ'ולין, כמה את מדברת, עכשיו אני צריכה להכין צ'ונט חדש.
Cool, the guy's picture's on the fridge.
השוויגר, זה הצ'ונט הכי טעים שאכלתי בחיים, באמת.
So choishish that for achlafa by a shviger, only by a shviger. So I got to show you this thing real quickly. Check this out. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. It's 2 minutes.
Hey, Ligerabali, I'm here in Toronto by wedding. I'm going to take off my hat
that's what I'm showing
because
you.
I want you to listen. I watched your share today. You mentioned the Toisus.
We can do it fast speed. I do it fast speed.
I have a message for Klal Yisrael that it's crazy, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to send you a picture attached to this video. One Friday afternoon, I went into my kitchen to make toyameo, and I opened a pot of the chunt. There's kishke, there's meat over there, $80 meat, you know, like the chunt of the year. And I see in the chunt something that's crazy. A pizza bagel in the chunt pot. I ended
pizza
up
bagel in the chunt pot.
My cleaning lady loved chunt, but she loved pizza bagel as well. So she wanted to try out to see how does it taste, a pizza bagel in the trunk. I went to my Rav, I showed him the picture.
His Rav said that you have to have cameras in the kitchen. Here's the picture. It's a real picture. Pizza bagel in the chunk. $80 meat. And then, what did he say? It was a Chal of Yisrael. Zok Gemara, Hosam Gedesanya Taima. By the. Okay, what happened with the meatballs? Mark said something. He says at the end, that somebody, his friend also, he was served by the cleaning lady the meatballs, but she put Parmesan on top. It's really fun. So the kids have video cameras in your kitchen if you have help. Why is she doing this? Because she's embarrassed of her son-in-law. She doesn't want to serve burnt chong. So with the son-in-law, she's going to switch it out. Rabbi, I have bad news for you. I think Taisus always asks the question, and I'm going to use Taisus' answer. Nishtanu hatvoim. Things have changed in society over there. There used to be a busha for the son-in-law. Not anymore, Rabbi. Not anymore. My mother-in-law is different. You tell me only by a mother-in-law and a son-in-law she'll switch it out, but in the rest of the world not. But now we're talking about a yeshiva bacher. Literally, yeshiva bacher. The Gemara says before we're talking about a yeshiva bacher. If a yeshiva bacher gives food to his innkeeper, maser shunoisan ves shunoitan lemeno, he has to take meiser. Why? She's going to switch it out. So you see before, it's not only a son-in-law, she'll switch out for yeshiva bacher. Says Gemara, she has a good reason. I want the yeshiva bacher to have a great hot meal. I'll suffer, I'll eat the cold meat. We're not concerned for gezel. Sponsors. Turning of the dot by Dar Global Specialists in International Financial Services. Chaim Milrad, Refuah Shlema, Yimei Mirasi, Fradalet Beschano, Besoich Shar Choli Yisrael. The famous Bavusta Mais. What's a chaver? Chaver is somebody who's makbid on Tuma and Tahara, on Maisris. He'll treat Chullin food with Tahara. The famous Maisa, there's somebody who's asked to make a hesped. So he gets up there and starts screaming. He goes, what a masmid, what a tzaddik, the guy, the posik puma megirsa, the tzidkis. And then a guy slips him a note. He says, it's a woman, it's the guy's wife, not him. And he says, oh, eishes chaver kechaver. There's different endings to the story. But Lamaisa, the wife of a tzaddik is like the tzaddik. So over here you have the wife of the chaver. Techenes and eishes amaretz. Huh? They want to say what? Hello to Rabbi Lerner? Yeah. The guy's on Zoom. How's Zoom going, Taka? It needs chizuk. What? I used to come on every day. I bet you it's the same amount of people now and then. Nothing changed. That's the whole nekuda. So it says the Gemara. Sorry. So Eishes Chaver, she could grind the wheat with her friend on condition that she's tamei. Because when she's tamei, she knows not to touch the food. Because her husband's makbid not to eat tamei food. So she's not going to eat anything from the amaretz. When the Eishes Chaver is tar, right? The Eishes Chaver is tamei, she could grind with the amaretz. When she's tar, she might eat. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, she showed because her friend will give her to eat. She said, listen to this. This is going to drive people crazy. Today it's not like this. They say in halacha it's different. Hashta migzal gozla. Her husband gives her something to grind. She goes ahead and she takes her husband's food and she dishes it out to her friends. It's gezel. Chalufim and so if she steals, she'll already switch out from different pots and do different things. Omer Rav Yosef Hasam Nami Moriya v'Amra Torah Medashi Ka'achal. There's a famous halacha. Loisachsim Shor B'Disha. There's an old picture. You're not allowed to have a bull thresh do the disha, work on wheat while his mouth is muzzled. So she says, I'm working for my husband. I'm worse than an ox. You're going to muzzle my mouth? I'm allowed to eat, so I'm going to give to my friends. It's a moira heter. But otherwise, she doesn't steal. Rabbi Sai, Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.